Not everyone is comfortable hugging in the first meeting, but Meghan Markle never seems to get that. Here are 13 times Meghan Markle forced people to hug her. Wait for the ninth one because that one is extremely cringe. Meghan was on a hugging spree that day, and she spotted an older lady she wanted to hug. The woman clearly was not willing, but because the camera was already on her, she had no choice but to surrender. You can see that the older lady was really uncomfortable, but because Meghan always gets what she wants, the woman had to give in without even participating in the hug. Hugging a stranger does not make you a nice person. You're just invading their personal space. And this was at a time when we were just coming out of a global pandemic. At this point, the lady almost wanted the ground to open up and swallow her because of Meghan's hug. Meghan called her out and placed her arms on her shoulders. The woman was already uncomfortable, but Meghan didn't stop there. She tightened her grip so much that it looked like the woman could barely breathe. Her organs seemed compressed by the intensity of the hug. Look at her expression. She is so confused as to why Meghan is squeezing her, clearly wanting to be freed from Meghan's grip. Oh my God, this one was wrong on so many levels. During their visit to Colombia, Meghan pulled a stunt she had no business pulling. She spotted the vice president's husband and quickly forced a hug, despite his clear discomfort, especially with his wife nearby. Meghan did not care. She initiated the hug anyway. The vice president turned and saw Meghan hugging her husband, and just look at how quickly she moved and placed herself between Meghan and her husband. Honestly, it looks like she was about to throw hands, but Harry quickly stepped in to calm the situation. Meghan, however, achieved what she wanted, hugging and flirting with another woman's husband. Meghan invited herself to Paris Fashion Week, and when she met the Balenciaga creative director, she became overly excited. The only thing that came to her mind was to hug him and give him a kiss. The hug happened only because she initiated it. They awkwardly missed each other's cheeks repeatedly, clearly unsure of what they were doing. Everything happened abruptly before Meghan finally released him. Embarrassment wore Meghan like the garment she wore to the event. Harry and Meghan attended an event where a child was presenting flowers as a welcome gesture. The child met Harry first and felt comfortable with him, touching and playing with his beard. The kid immediately ran into Harry's arms as soon as he saw him. But when it came to Meghan, the child became hesitant and chose to back away. Meghan was visibly losing her happiness. The little boy was then pushed back toward her and forced to hug Meghan. At that moment, you could see relief on Meghan's face as the child was directed toward her. But look closely. Even while the kid was hugging Meghan, he was still looking at Harry and ran into Harry's arms again. Remember the saying, "What Meghan wants, she gets"? This moment proves it. She was invited to the One World Summit as a speaker, and a woman stood on stage to welcome her. You can clearly see that this woman was reaching out her hand for a handshake, but when she saw that Meghan was coming for a hug, she decided to go into a curtsy to get away from the hug, but Meghan moved closer, grabbed her, and forced her into a hug. Come on, Meghan, why force someone to hug you when they are unwilling? She truly is a drama queen. At the 2014 USO event, Meghan clearly knew the woman beside her did not want to be on camera. The camera itself seemed to make the woman uncomfortable, but Meghan still pulled her into full view like she was not a human, but a prop. The woman looked visibly uneasy, but Meghan did not care. She placed her hands over the woman's shoulders and attempted a subtle hug. The woman didn't want it, but Meghan did, so she had no choice but to let Meghan do what she wanted. There was one time when she could not accomplish her goal. At a wedding event she attended with Harry, where she wore an outfit that looked like a bedspread. Harry greeted a friend and hugged him tightly. Meghan stood there waiting for her own hug. The disappointment written all over her face was obvious when she was ignored. She wanted the hug but did not get it. The man simply walked away. The pain on her face said it all. Well, she should have done some research because that man is Princess Diana's nephew, her brother Charles's son. Meghan spotted someone she believed would put her in headlines quickly. Alexis Ohanian, Serena Williams' husband. She hunched over dramatically to greet him and, of course, initiated a forced hug. Alexis had to stand up, accept the hug, and even the kiss. The audience began shouting for them to move because their interaction was blocking the view. Even the presenter on stage had to comment on it and tell them that the audience is telling them to get out of the way. Harry tried to speak to Venus, but Meghan immediately interrupted him. If self-centeredness were a person, it would be Meghan Markle.
Who's brave? Looking. Everybody's pointing at you.
At the Paley Honors Gala, Meghan clawed Tyler Perry so tightly that he almost lost blood flow in his arm. She wasn't done yet. Another guest simply wanted to greet her and move on, but Meghan opened her arms. Not wanting to offend her, the woman stepped into the hug. Meghan then held her hostage, gripping her tightly while the woman searched for freedom. I am sure that she must have felt something like this at that moment. While people may want comfort during difficult times, this was not the kind of comfort Meghan offered. She forced hugs on people who had lost their homes in the LA fires. Instead of bringing relief materials, the only thing she brought from her Montecito mansion was a hug. She hugged people who had lost everything and sent them away, as if a hug would replace their homes. Perhaps they were meant to sleep with her hug and remember that at least Meghan Markle hugged them after losing everything. Here's another person who managed to dodge Meghan's hug. She was invited to speak at an event, and the woman on stage simply wanted to do her job and move on. There was no time for pleasantries. Meghan walked toward her, expecting a hug, but the woman stood still like the Statue of Liberty. Meghan had to settle for a quick pat on the back. Well, that lady might have hugged her if she were not wearing her signature wrinkled-up industrial beige. During the Invictus Games, Harry was the one giving the hug, but when Meghan saw this, jealousy wore her like a garment. It was as if she was saying, "No, Harry, you can't steal this moment from me. This is what I am made for. This is why I became royalty." She rushed over to Harry, and together they hugged the woman. You could see the sense of fulfillment on her face as she clawed onto Harry, and together they went back to take a photo. For Meghan, the camera is everything. She then pushes the woman away and goes back to take pictures. There you have it. 13 times, Meghan Markle made hugs so uncomfortable that people were clearly searching for the nearest exit. What are your thoughts on Meghan's forceful hugging? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.